I'm Alexi Toliopoulos, and I'm here on behalf of the Sydney Film Festival. Firstly, congratulations on the film. I was lucky enough to be one of the 2,000 people here for the premiere at SFF yesterday.
Hey! I told you to take that jacket off.
You'd have to kill me to get this jacket off.
I want to know, when you see films of yours with an audience, do you ever discover things that are new to you or find weird things in them when you're watching them?
I did watch Dune in Mexico City, and that was, I forgot how many thousands of people we had there. It was something like 5,000 people or something. It was the biggest, it was in a concert venue, and they had this giant screen, and Timothy and I sat next to each other and we watched it, and I was amazed by moments that they found humor, or that they would all scream, or they would, you know, the feeling their emotions was really cool, because you don't often get to experience that. You know, you make it on set and everybody's got to be quiet, and then now you're hearing them laughing and getting to experience the emotions. I love that.
I know that you've previously collaborated with the master of movement, Polly Bennett, the movement coach. I'm a huge fan of her. She's such a genius,
amazing,
I think.
isn't she?
When you were developing the physicality of Elvis, how has that changed your approach in embodying and approaching physicality for characters, especially in the Bike Riders?
That's a good question. I love that. I haven't gotten that question.
Wow, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, she taught me so much. You know, her approach is wonderful, because it's, yes, she's a movement expert, but it's all about how the internal influences why you move the way that you do. And so you're always asking, you know, why does somebody touch their face in that way, or, you know, what are our habitual patterns that make us move or sit in the way that we do, and so it's a very curious process, and even things down to how somebody breathes. You know, we each have different patterns of how we breathe. Some people really hold their breath in their chest, and you know, that feeling of when you take a deep belly breath and what that feels like. And so it always just it in a way sort of gives you more things to work with when you're approaching a character.
And with Benny for the Bike Riders, he's such an internal character. How did you find expressing those things outwards?
Yeah, it was, you know, for one, it was a matter of figuring out what he's actually thinking in each moment, because with silent characters, it's not an absence of thought or opinion. It's they still are thinking and having their own judgments and ideas and wants and desires and fears and whatnot, but they keep it inside. They're choosing not to say it in a way. So you have fewer clues in the dialogue, you know. So for me, it was figuring out all those things, you know, what's going on inside there.
Were there any key gestures for you?
You know, for me, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is how I remember spending hours going, how does he light a cigarette, you know? And so for me, I found opening the lighter on my leg and how I do that, because I knew that was going to be a part of it. And it's each person does it differently. And how do you smoke, and how do you ride a motorcycle? And so I found things like riding with one hand, or, you know, these little things that start to feel like they're just, you know, the idiosyncrasies of a person, you know. Also how he takes his time, so his breath is slower, and his gaze is longer, and then those primal qualities that he has, you know.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, it all shows. I really love Jeff Nichols' films, from Take Shelter to Mud and Beyond. I think he has this great balance of this kind of feeling of epicness while feeling emotionally grounded in that kind of raw place. What was it that drew you to working with him and this material?
I mean, it's all that you just mentioned. Those films really, from the first time I saw them, really impacted me. I remember years ago, I had a Jeff Nichols marathon at my house where some friends and I got together and we just watched one after another.
That's an intense marathon.
Yeah, it's before I did Elvis. I remember sitting with some friends and doing that and thinking, if I could ever work with that guy, that would be amazing. And so then when this came along, it was one, the script that he had written. I loved it, and then getting together with him, and he's just he's an incredible guy. he's hilarious. He's witty. He's deep. You can have really deep conversations, and he's vulnerable, but yet has like that confidence and the strength about him. And so yeah, we got on very well.
In this film, you're surrounded by this great ensemble of actors, including Aussie legends Toby Wallace and Damon Herriman. Was there anyone in particular you were really excited to like work with or see their work in process?
Honestly, every single one of the actors I felt that way about. You know, many of them I hadn't met before, and you know, Damon and I knew each other.
Yeah.
We never actually had a scene together in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know. So it was great to get to watch him work, and he's such a chameleon. You know, he can do anything. And Toby, I admired from Baby Teeth, and
Great
a great performance, and he's wonderful in this movie. But everyone, I mean, everyone down the line is just incredible. You know, Jodie really carries this film, and she's just magnificent.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great performance as well.
Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, I just wanted to ask you, you're kind of like at this very rare point and exciting point in your career, which is like shaping to be a great, like on-screen, all-timer career. What are the things you're looking for in the future?
I just want to make great films. You know, I don't know exactly what they're going to be. I want to. I'm very director focused. I find that that's the thing that drives me a lot. You know, because they're the captain of the ship, and so all the choices get filtered through them, and so I just want to work with great directors and great actors and make great movies, and I want to make movies for the big screen. You know, I love that experience of going to the theater, and so I feel grateful to be a part of that.
Great. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thank you so much.
Really
man.
appreciate it.
Nice talking to you.